Hey, it's Trevor. Embroidery can be a great option if you're looking to create products that feel a little bit more premium and professional. It's especially popular for things like business apparel, team apparel, monograms, personalized gift, and small business branding. Today, I will show you how to find Zazzle's embroidery products, what threads colors are available, which fonts tend to work best, and a few important things to know before creating your first embroidered design. Let's get started. From the top menu, click Create Your Own, then click Create Your Own again from the drop-down menu. Once you are on the Create Your Own page, go to the search bar and type Embroidered. At the time I'm recording this video, there are 15 embroidered products available. Of course, this number may change in the future as Zazzle adds more products. You can scroll through the available options and see what interests you. For this demonstration, I'm going to use the Flex Fit wool cap. Let's open that product. Before we jump into designing, let's scroll down this page. You will find a link to the Zazzle Help Center article called How Do I Create a Design Suitable for Zazzle Embroidery? I highly recommend spending some time studying this page. I will also place the link in the video description below. On this page, you will find the currently available embroidery thread colors. At the time I'm recording this video, there are 15 thread colors available. One important thing to know is that although there are 15 thread colors available, you can only use up to 6 thread colors in a single embroidery design. In many cases, fewer colors can actually create a cleaner and more professional result, so don't feel like you need to use all 6. While you are here, I also suggest taking a look at the sections such as the embroidery design checklist and the design do's and don'ts. There are several useful recommendations that can help you avoid common embroidery issues before you spend time creating your design. Now let's go back to the product page and start designing. Click Add Your Design to open the design tool. For this example, I'm going to create a simple text-based embroidery design. On the left side, go to Add Text, then add a text box. I'm going to type FFS. Now, let's start experimenting with the design. One thing to remember is that embroidery is created using thread, not ink. That means very thin details don't always translate well into stitches. As I'm browsing through some of these fonts, you will notice that some are much thicker and easier to read than others. Generally speaking, thicker, cleaner, and more readable fonts tend to produce better embroidery results. Very thin script, delicate decoration fonts, and extremely small lettering can sometimes be difficult for embroidery machines to produce clearly. So when you are selecting fonts, always think about readability and stitchability. As I'm testing different fonts, I'm also adjusting some of the other settings available in the design tools such as the font style, the font size, the text color, the placement, the alignment, and the other settings available in the toolbar. As you are making these adjustments, keep a few embroidery best practice in mind. Try to avoid fonts that are extremely thin. Avoid making text too small. Keep your design simple whenever possible. Remember that embroidery works differently from printed graphics. Clean and bold designs often produce the best results. You should also think about contrast. Since embroidery uses thread colors, you will generally want your text color to stand out well against the product color. As I'm trying different options here, I'm looking for something that feels clean, readable, and embroidery friendly. After experimenting with a few fonts and settings, I'm going to settle on Cooper with a font size of 128 on either a black color cap or a navy color cap. This gives it a simple and professional embroidery design that should work well. What do you think? Now, let's briefly talk about uploading artwork. On the left side menu, go to Uploads, then select or drag to open an image. You will notice that a pop-up window appears. There are several important things worth mentioning here. First, embroidery requires image files that contain information about what the design should be stitched and what thread color should be used. Regular image files don't contain this information, so they must be converted into embroidery stitch files. Second, there is a conversion fee. The amount depends on the size and complexity of the design. Third, the conversion process typically takes about 24 to 48 hours to complete. Another important note is that converted embroidery images are not resizable. The pop-up also provides some helpful embroidery tips. Photographs usually do not convert very well. Cartoon style artwork generally works much better. And if you are creating text designs, it's usually better to use Zazzle's text tool instead of uploading text as part of an image. One thing I would like to mention is that I personally have not created an embroidered product using my own graphic design yet. Everything I share here about uploading artwork is based on the information provided in this pop-up window, along with some research I've done on the topic. Once I successfully create and publish an embroidered design using my own artwork, I'll be happy to share more about that experience in a future video. Now let's return to our text design. As you can see, even a simple embroidered text design can look clean and professional on a product like this cap. Embroidery can be a great addition to your Zazzle store, especially if you are interested in personalized products, business branding, monograms, team apparels, or simple text-based design. If you are new to embroidery on Zazzle, I definitely recommend starting with simple text designs before moving on to more complex artwork. If you found this video helpful, give it a like, I would really appreciate it. And if you haven't already, subscribe and hit the bell so you'll be notified when there are new updates on this channel. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.